far as I am aware, Mr. Appleby, this is the first prosecution of a touring play for obscenity, or indeed of any play at all, under the Theatres Act 1968.
That is so, my lord.
Yes, I thought it was. Thank you. Very well, Mr. Appleby, would you begin?
My lord. Members of the jury, according to the Theatres Act 1968, a play should be deemed obscene if taken as a whole its effect is such as to tend to deprave and corrupt those persons who are likely to see it. Now, from the 21st to the 23rd of April last, a play called Public Lives was presented at the Fulchester Palace Theatre by the defendant Alexander Pastor, a theatrical manager, and directed by Jeremy Williams, who is his co-defendant. Now, it is the prosecution's case that this play was obscene within the meaning of the Act. My lord, I produce a script of the version of the play performed on the 23rd of April, the night to which this charge relates, and I suggest that this might be the appropriate time for the jury to read it.
What, you're suggesting that we now adjourn while that is done?
Yes, my lord.
My lord, on a point of law, in the case of a trial of a theatrical entertainment, it isn't sufficient evidence for the juror simply to read a script.
Mr. Parsons, the Act does not specify what is or what is not sufficient evidence, but the prosecution could rest its case entirely on the script.
With respect, my lord, no. The moral and emotional effect of a theatrical production can only be judged in the atmosphere of a complete performance in the theatre.
Yes, but Mr. Parsons, until the passing of this Act, the sole basis upon which a play could be judged was the script.
Yes, my lord, and the Lord Chamberlain's office gave its judgment before a performance could be given. Now, this whole form of censorship caused much distress to actors and artists throughout the profession, and in consequence deprived the public of much work of artistic merit. It was because of this that the 1968 Act was passed. I would draw your lordship's attention to Section 1 of the Act, abolition of censorship of the theatre.
Yes, but nevertheless, the establishment of a system of post facto judgment, that is to say, a system of being wise after the event rather than before it, does not mean that a script is not of assistance when judging a play. I am, of course, referring to a script which has all the stage directions in it as the Act prescribes. And there is no indication in the Act that the jury should be subjected to a full performance of the play. And surely, Mr. Parsons, that is impracticable. I mean, the production was stopped by the police some 3 months ago, was it not?
Well, that is correct, my lord, on April 23rd.
And the production includes how many people?
Well, according to my information, my lord, there were 6 actors, an orchestra of 8 musicians, plus the director and a stage staff of 9. That is, of course, not including the staff of the Palace Theatre, who were involved with the production during its time there.
So that is upwards of 24 people to be reassembled, some of them scattered all over the country, and possibly in other work.
That is correct, my lord.
And since the play has not been performed for 3 months, I presume some sort of rehearsal will be necessary.
Yes, my lord.
How much?
Well, I'm no expert on the subject, my lord, but I should have imagined something in the nature of 2 weeks would be customary.
2 weeks?
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Parsons, even you surely must agree that to subpoena 24 people from their present occupation for a period of up to 2 weeks to give one performance for 15 people is, to say the least of it, an uneconomic venture. I cannot even imagine the Arts Council having much sympathy with that proposition.
Nevertheless, my lord, I do feel that in this case, above all, justice must be seen to be done. Now, it is my understanding that when the 1968 Act was passed, it was the intention to bring control of theatre performances into line with that of television productions and films. Now, in the case of television, the decision as to whether a programme may be shown is made by either the BBC or the Independent Broadcasting Authority after the programme has been made. Similarly, the British Board of Film Censors sees a film when it has been completed and makes its decision then, not on the basis of a script. I'm sorry to have to pursue this argument so rigorously, my lord, but it does seem necessary, as this is, by its very nature, a test case.
Yes, well, Mr. Parsons, even if there are reasons for saying that the jury should see this allegedly offensive material, I think it should be within the precincts of this court.
Well, with respect, my lord, that would be entirely lacking in the trappings and atmosphere of a theatre. The play in question requires many properties and scene changes, not to mention costume changes. And I would also point out that certain acts performed on a stage, a certain distance from an audience, under carefully controlled lighting, might seem less offensive than in a room such as this. I suggest that the jury sees the play in a theatre with a full theatre audience, the context in which it would normally be seen by the public.
Yes, whether the play would normally be seen in the context of a full house is, I suggest, Mr. Parsons, open to question. However, considering the allegedly offensive material and the publicity that it has received, perhaps you could be right. However, I clearly cannot allow it to be seen by members of the public since it is at present sub judice. If Mr. Lotterby has no objection, yes, I am prepared to allow it to be shown in the setting of the theatre for which it was intended, if that can be arranged.
Thank you, my lord.
My lord, for all my learned friend's eloquent argument, I simply cannot see how a performance given by a group of actors subpoenaed by this court can possibly resemble the original article. Oh, they'll all know the purpose of the performance, and they'll obviously try to do their best to modify their actions accordingly. Television or a film performance, once recorded, is immutable, but a theatrical performance can be altered radically, especially if extra rehearsal is to be allowed, and this is to be conducted by one of the accused.
What do you say to that, Mr. Parsons?
With respect to my learned friend, my lord, no doubt prosecution witnesses are going to refer to certain actions in the play. Now, the only way for the defence to discuss whether these actions took place or what effect they had is to demonstrate them, and clearly the defence can't do this in the confines of a witness box.
I'd like to refer your lordship to the decision in the Crown v. Quinn and Bloom, 1962, when the Court of Criminal Appeal ruled that the reconstruction of an entire scene brought into existence for the purpose of constituting evidence could never be admissible.
Yes, well, I hear what you both say, and I am inclined to think that a theatre performance might help us in this matter. I think I may distinguish Crown versus Quinn and Bloom in that was concerned with a play without a script. In other words, a striptease act performed in an alleged disorderly house. But I must make it clear to the jury that it is the performance of April the 23rd upon which you will be asked to pass judgment, and the performance that you will view can therefore act only as a guide. But, of course, that performance must follow the original as closely as possible. Do you have detailed written record of that performance of April the 23rd, Mr. Parsons?
Yes, my lord, I do have the script of the deputy stage manager, what is known as the prompt copy.
Will you place it in evidence?
Yes, my lord.
And will either of you be calling witnesses who were present at that performance on April the 23rd?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord.
Then I think it advisable that they should also attend the performance. Very well, we shall now adjourn until the performance can be viewed, and I must say that I look forward to it with some trepidation.
With respect, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Parsons.
Is that entirely the proper observation for your lordship to make?
Possibly not, Mr. Parsons, but it expressed my feelings. The court will now adjourn.
My lord.
Oh, what is it now, Mr. Parsons?
With your pardon, my lord, I'm somewhat worried about costs. Now, it is not the fault of the defence that this trial could not be brought until 3 months after the production was closed down. Now, the cost of mounting a new production will be considerable. The payment of artists, the compensation to other managements who have lost these artists at short notice, the hiring of a theatre, the building of new...
Mr. Parsons, it is your eloquent pleading that has persuaded this court that it is legal to adopt this policy. Now, if the defendants are found to be guilty, then it is they who must bear the costs of the legal process. If they don't like that, we can easily dispense with this performance that you have persuaded me should take place.
Yes, my lord, I do feel, however, that in this case...
Mr. Parsons, that is my ruling. The court will now adjourn.
All stand.
6 weeks have elapsed since the adjournment of the court. The judge, the jury, counsel and witnesses have seen the play that is the subject of the charge.
You are Alice Jane Rosewall?
Yes.
And you live at Ahern Cottage, Withington, Fulchester?
Yes, I do.
What is your occupation, Mrs. Rosewall?
I run a youth club.
Are you a married woman?
Yes, I am.
With children?
Yes, 2 boys.
Were you in the audience at the Fulchester Palace Theatre on the night of April the 21st?
Yes, I was.
And did you see a play called Public Lives by E.W. Rossiter?
Yes.
And did you, on the 22nd of April, go to Fulchester City Police Station, there make a statement giving evidence that the play you had seen was obscene, which provided a basis for the police closing down that play?
That's true, yes.
And did you write letters to newspapers about it?
Yes, to the Times and the Fulchester Echo. And I had 57 letters back agreeing with me, and not a
Thank
single
you, Mrs.
one.
Rosewall. Now, would you tell the court why you did all this?
Well, because I felt it was my duty to do so. It was quite revolting, distasteful. It shouldn't be available for anyone to walk in and see it.
Were you present at the performance given last week in the presence of his lordship and the jury?
Yes. And I may say that I could have done without having to sit through it twice.
Quite. Now, was this performance substantially the same as the one you saw on the 21st?
Yes, it was, if anything, even more revolting.
Would you tell us something about the play, please?
Well, you've seen it for yourselves.
Yes, but I'd like you to tell us about it.
Well, it obviously sets out to be some kind of parody of Noel Coward's private lives. That's why it's got that title. Well, that's one of the saddest things about it, really. That a marvellous, funny play by a great man of the theatre who's just died should be degraded in this kind of way.
You say this is a parody of private lives. In what way?
Well, in Noel Coward's play, two newly married couples are sharing adjacent hotel bedrooms. And the comedy of the situation is that the woman of one couple has previously been married to the man of the other, and they've divorced.
And in this play?
The two women occupy one room, and the two men the other.
And what kind of relationships are these? Now, come, Mrs. Rosewell, they aren't married couples, are they?
No.
What is their relationship explicitly shown on the stage?
Homosexual.
So a male homosexual and a lesbian relationship is shown on the stage. Now, is this a relationship in mind only?
No, it is not.
A physical relationship, no less?
Yes, it is.
Now, Mrs. Rosewell, would you describe to the court some of the things that you saw that happened between these couples?
I can't repeat them.
Now, I'm sure we all understand that you find it difficult to describe what you saw on that stage, Mrs. Rosewell, especially here in open court.
Yes.
Why don't you try to tell us what you saw?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, perhaps you could write it down. A piece of paper, chalk, and a pencil. Now, we all saw the play, and we shall know what you're getting at.
Yes.
But, of course, you understand that what you write will be shown to counsel, the jury, and myself.
Yes.
How many times did such acts of obscenity take place during the course of the evening?
I lost count.
How many times was the complete sex act simulated on stage?
3 times.
Until what finally happened?
They just rolled about. All of them. Doing everything.
And how did you react, Mrs. Rosewell?
I was revolted. I was sickened. I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't look at my husband. The world was suddenly a filthy place. It had been polluted for me. I went to the police the next day.
What would you say about what is called the fabric of your life? Was it changed in any way by this experience?
Oh, yes. I wonder now what on earth we're all up to. Where on earth we're all going.
And how about its effect on other people?
I think it would have an extremely harmful effect on impressionable people. It would debase them, deprave and corrupt them.
Mr. Lotterby, as you must know, the very recent appeal court decision in the case of the Crown v. Oz Publications, Inc. Limited showed that the jury and jury alone must decide whether something is likely to deprave and corrupt. The jury will disregard that last question and the witness's answer.
Thank you, Mrs. Rosewell. I won't cause you any further embarrassment.
May I have sight of this witness's statement again, please? Thank you. Mrs. Rosewell, are you a theatre-going person? Well, of course you are. You must be, because you're very knowledgeable about private lives and the work of Noel Coward.
Yes, I'm a theatre girl.
Yes. Is this theatre-going confined to visits to the local amateur players?
No, it isn't. I go to the Palace Theatre fairly regularly.
Yes, what sort of plays do you go and see there?
I go and see the ones I want to see.
Now, the plays that you've seen there of a decorous nature?
Oh, yes.
You haven't seen anything there that might be called indelicate?
Well, not before this, no.
No. Now, why do you go to the theatre? As a spokesman, or should I say a spokeswoman, for upstanding members of your community?
No. I go to enjoy myself.
I see. Now, have you never seen full frontal nudity on the stage of the Palace Theatre?
No.
Well, there have been 4 plays in the past year there in which actors have appeared naked on stage. You haven't seen them?
No.
Now, as a regular theatre goer, how did you manage to miss them?
Well, I usually read about them beforehand in the Echo, and I choose not to go and see them.
Yes. Did you read about this one beforehand in the Echo?
Yes.
Yes. And did it say that it was in keeping with these theatrically permissive times? Don't go if you're against sex education, because you will be literally force-fed with a lesson on the madhouse nuptials of 2 of the zaniest couples in anybody's marital red school book. And it went on to say, it's the funniest his and hers story of our age. You begin to wonder what's his and what's hers, and does it really matter? Now, did you read that?
Yes.
Now then, surely that gave you an indication that this wouldn't be your cup of tea. Why did you go?
I felt it was my duty to go.
Duty? To whom?
To decent-minded people.
Yes, but you've just told us just now you went to enjoy yourself.
But this was an exception.
Ah, so you are a self-appointed spokeswoman. Do you appreciate how far the theatre has moved since private lives, Mrs. Rosewell?
Yes, I've just seen this play.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've written on this paper the word penis. Why couldn't you say that word in this court? Oh, come now, Mrs. Rosewell, you work with children. What would you call this part of the male anatomy if they asked you about it?
I hope that situation wouldn't arise.
Well, what did you call it when you were bringing up your own boys?
Well, these are disgraceful questions to ask.
I assure you they are not, Mrs. Rosewell. You see, I'm trying to put it to you that when writers write about overtly sexual situations and use words like winky and penny piece to describe such parts, it would provoke a roar of merriment from the reader. And I also put it to you that the same goes for a theatrical presentation. Now, just because you haven't kept up with this genre doesn't give you the right to act as a spokeswoman for a minority, does it?
It is not a minority.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you also an opponent of Shakespeare, Mrs. Rosewell? For instance, Lady, shall I lie in your lap? No, my lord. I mean, my head upon your lap. Aye, my lord. Do you think I meant country matters? I think nothing, my lord. That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs. Well, what do you think about that, Mrs. Rosewell?
I think it's Hamlet. But I've never thought about it in that way, and I don't intend to start now.
Yes, you see, I would suggest that in the evidence of that reply alone, it would be fair to call you a rather bigoted person, wouldn't it, Mrs. Rosewell?
Certainly not, and I'm not going to be drawn like this.
Well, did you find this play at the Palace Theatre funny?
No, I did not.
Not at all funny?
No. How is one expected to laugh when one's sensibilities are being assaulted in this way? I was scandalised by it.
Ah, scandalised, yes. And you said you felt the world had been, what was it? Polluted for you, didn't you?
I did.
Yes. Did you at the same time feel that you had been corrupted?
I felt dirty.
No, I said, were you corrupted?
No.
Or depraved?
No.
You weren't. Well then, who do you think would have been corrupted and depraved?
A lot of people.
Well, let's try and narrow that field down a bit, shall we? Now, we know it can't be children under 16, because wasn't there a sign outside the theatre that said they would not be admitted?
Oh, yes, but you know perfectly
Yeah,
well
I
that
said,
if young
was there a sign outside the theatre?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Now then, we can dispose of that category of being depravable and corruptible. Now, what about people like you? You said you would not be corrupted or depraved.
Yes.
So we can exclude people like you.
Yes.
Whom just now you claimed to be a majority of the people.
But there are people who are susceptible to this form of titillation.
Well, who are these people?
Young people who might be encouraged to take part in these practices.
Well, if they saw this production?
Yes.
Now, do you like a good Agatha Christie thriller, Mrs. Rosewall?
Yes, I do.
Now, would you agree that the subject of murder is treated rather lightly in such plays? I mean, murder is simulated frequently on stage. In a way, it's parodied, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And you would agree, would you not, that murder is a far more culpable act than any you saw that night on stage at the Palace Theatre?
Of course.
Yes, but you wouldn't call in the police to stop a show like that, would you?
Of course not.
No. I mean, it might even be the people who go to see that sort of play indulge in their hate fantasies about murdering somebody, and thereby provide a form of release, mightn't it? I mean, it could be a good thing, yes?
Well, I know what you're trying to say, but I don't see how this could be a good thing.
Well, because it was shocking?
Yes.
But even more shocking than murder?
Yes.
Do you mean that, Mrs. Rosewall?
Well, yes, I do. Because we've come to accept the stage convention of murder.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
My learned friend has been trying to suggest that you were some kind of backwoods lady, Mrs. Rosewall.
I know what he's suggesting. I've brought up my two boys to be healthy, responsible citizens. I've looked after many hundreds of children, a great number of whom are adult now, who come back and see me and thank me. I object to filth no matter in what age it was first written. What I saw that night was deplorable.
Thank you, Mrs. Rosewall.
You may leave the witness box.
What is your occupation, Miss Jenkins?
I'm an actress.
On the 28th of May of this year, were you engaged by Pastor Productions to take part in a play called Public Lives?
Yes, I was. I was contracted for a 6-week pre-London tour prior to West End, opening at the Fulchester Palace Theatre.
Now, when you signed the contract, you had, of course, read the play.
Of course.
Now, was there any reference to undressing in the play?
Yes, there was.
What was the nature of the undressing?
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, was there any physical movement in the nude?
No. Just taking my clothes off, standing there for a few moments, and then being chased off.
How many times was this to happen in the course of the action, according to the original script?
Only twice.
And what was your attitude to taking your clothes off like this?
Oh, it's quite normal. I don't mind that at all.
So you began rehearsals?
Yes.
And what happened next?
Well, we'd been rehearsing it for over 2 weeks like that, when Mr. Pastor and the backers came to see the first run-through.
And, yes?
Well, the next day, Mr. Williams called the cast together and said that not only was there to be more nudity, but the script was being changed, and we would have to simulate intercourse of different kinds.
Did he give any reason for these changes?
He said the producer felt the show needed spicing up.
It needed spicing up. Did he agree with the producer?
Oh, yes.
Well, what did you think about it?
Well, I was revolted by what I was expected to do.
So what did you do?
Well, I refused to do it.
Well, what happened then?
I was replaced.
So you were sacked?
I was sacked.
The case of the Queen against Pastor and Williams will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. The charge against Frederick Pastor, a theatre producer, and Jeremy Williams, a theatre director, is that they caused to be shown on April the 23rd of this year at the Fulchester Palace Theatre a comedy entitled Public Lives, which contained acts and words which, taken as a whole, could be termed obscene. Miss Mandy Jenkins, an actress who was engaged to play one of the parts, says she was dismissed by the defendants when she refused to perform certain scenes that she considered to be obscene.
So you're saying, Miss Jenkins, that the play you were contracted to perform, in fact, turned into a very different play indeed?
Yes, that's right.
What's the first play, the one you read when you agreed to appear in it? Was it a respectable play?
Oh, perfectly respectable.
When you performed it at rehearsals, it was a respectable play?
Yes. Well, it was a very witty, near-the-knuckle piece of theatre. I mean, two men in a bed dressed in pyjamas can be very funny. Now, two men stark naked doing what they were supposed to do, it went right over the top. I mean, the same for the women. I just couldn't wear it.
Wouldn't wear it, Miss Jenkins?
I wouldn't not wear it, I should have said.
Yes. So when you refused to go over the top, as you call it, another actress was engaged to play your part?
Yes.
Did you attend the opening night?
Yes, I bought a ticket.
And what did you think of the play, Miss Jenkins?
It was worse than I expected. It really was obscene. It didn't surprise me at all that they closed it down.
Why do you say it was obscene?
Well, you just don't do that sort of thing undressed on a stage.
Thank you, Miss Jenkins.
Have you seen O Calcutta, Miss Jenkins?
I have.
What did you think about that?
It gave me the shudders.
Fool houses for over 3 years didn't give all those people the shudders.
Chacun a son goût.
Exactly. I was about to make that precise point. And on y soit qui mal y pense.
Do you mind if we continue the evidence in English, Mr. Parsons?
I'm sorry, my lord. I was simply making the point that evil is in the eye of the beholder, and I believe the witness was agreeing with me.
I think we all agree with that.
How long have you known the defendant, Mr. Williams, for, Miss Jenkins?
About 2 years.
Have you known him intimately?
Oh, my lord, with great respect, that question can have no relevance to this charge.
We will see, Mr. Appleby. Is it relevant?
Relevant to the evaluation of this witness's testimony, my lord.
Very well, ask your question.
Thank you, my lord. Have you known him intimately?
Yes, I have.
Very intimately?
Yes.
Indeed, there was talk of marriage, was there not?
Yes.
Until the night of the dress rehearsal, when you say you were given the sack by him, you were living with Mr. Williams, weren't you?
I was.
Yes. And you had a row with him, and you walked out on him.
I had a row with him about performing those acts on stage.
You had a row with him about a young man called Marcus Ellingham, didn't you? Come now, Miss Jenkins, it was nothing to do with those acts. He objected to your association with this Marcus Ellingham, did he not?
My lord, do I have to answer this kind of...
I'm afraid you do.
That came into it, yes.
No, that was it, wasn't it? You were quite prepared to do those things on stage until Mr. Williams accused you of disloyalty. Now, come on, Miss Jenkins, you say he kicked you out of this production, but Mr. Williams had told you 5 days prior to the run-through about these changes in the text, had he not?
I don't remember if he did. He might have done.
Now. You don't remember something so traumatic as having to do these things in public, these revolting acts, you call them, and you don't remember?
You've confused me.
Then I put it to you in order to clarify your mind that you knew you might have to perform these acts in public, and this row on the dress rehearsal blew up about your association with this other man, and you used this business about being revolted as a pretext to leave Mr. Williams high and dry. You walked out on your contract, and in order to save face, you're appearing here and giving evidence against him.
That is a real lie. No, not at all.
It is not a very inspired performance you are giving, Miss Jenkins.
Miss Jenkins, were you ever prepared to perform these acts of simulated sexual intercourse on a public stage?
No, I was not.
Thank you, Miss Jenkins.
Very well.
You are Arthur Appleby of 6 Grover Avenue, Hampstead?
Yes, I am.
Now, what is your occupation, Mr. Appleby?
I'm a writer.
What is it that you principally write?
I write plays.
And have you written plays that have been performed on the English stage?
Oh, yes, I've had 3 in London.
Now, what kind of plays were these?
Comedies.
And are you the author of the play Public Lives, which was performed at the Fulchester Palace Theatre on April the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of this year?
Mr. Appleby, it has already been given in evidence that this play was written by E.W. Rossiter.
My lord, it was in fact originally Mr. Appleby's play, and he will tell us that at his request the defendants took his name off the play and substituted an entirely fictitious name. But Mr. Appleby is the original author.
Is that so, Mr. Appleby?
Yes, my lord.
I see, thank you.
Now, would you be good enough, Mr. Appleby, to describe your original play to us and tell us something about your style of writing?
Yes, well, it's always rather difficult to talk about one's own work, but I'll try. Well, I write somewhat brittle comedies, situation farces, with an attempt at least at Wildean dialogue.
What was that?
Oh, dialogue in the manner of Oscar Wilde, my lord. Whether or not I succeed is not for me to say, more for the critics. They have, of course.
They have what?
They have said.
They have said what?
Oh, more often than not that I haven't succeeded.
I believe, my lord, Mr. Appleby is indulging in an exercise in self-denigration. In some quarters, his work is most highly thought of.
My lord, with respect, that has yet to be established.
I agree.
Mr. Appleby, you were explaining about your style of writing.
Yeah, oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I like to take a situation in the manner of Shaw and reverse it.
In the manner of who?
George Bernard Shaw, my lord. Now, Noel Coward's Private Lives is by now part of the legend of the British theatre. It's the story of two honeymoon couples.
Mr. Appleby, am I to take it that you write in the manner of Wilde, Shaw and Coward?
Oh, I hope I have my own distinct style of writing, my lord, but it is to these authors that I feel I owe my origins. Oh, Private Lives, yes. Well, it's the story of two honeymoon couples who find themselves in adjacent rooms at a Riviera hotel. Now, one of the men has been married previously to the other's newlywed. And the play is a very clever and witty account of the melange that follows.
Now, that's Mr. Coward's play, Mr. Appleby. Now, what about yours?
Yes, well, now, to reflect the times that we live in, permissive society and all that, I mixed the couples up even further, just to see what would happen. I put the two men together in one room and the two women together in the other room. And I suggested two homosexual relationships and tried to develop the ensuing confusion in terms of situation and dialogue.
And what happened to this play, Mr. Appleby?
Oh, Mr. Pastor liked it, and we drew up a contract. And I went to the read-through, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I attended 3 rehearsals. The whole thing was coming along splendidly. It was going like a house on fire. And then I went to the dress rehearsal, if you could call it that, and I was absolutely flabbergasted.
Why were you flabbergasted?
Well, the actors were playing some of the scenes stark naked. I mean, the point of those scenes was completely destroyed. The play was transformed from a sophisticated comedy of manners into a quite objectionable display of sexual happenings.
Were there changes in the text from the original?
Oh, yes, it is unrecognizable.
So what did you do?
Well, I pleaded for a return to the text. I pleaded with both Mr. Pastor and Mr. Williams.
Well, what did they say?
They said, it's better like this, and besides, you'll make a mint out of it.
So what did you reply to that?
I replied that I would sooner not make a mint out of the baser instincts of humanity, and I asked for my name to be taken off it.
And they complied with this request?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Appleby.
Mr. Appleby, I have some press cuttings here which refer to certain first nights that took place last year. I read a couple of extracts for you. The dialogue is so banal that I won't embarrass the author by printing his identity. But judging from the origins of his name, I suggest he returns to the cider trade. And the writing was so tedious that by the middle of Act 2, not only the audience, but the actors as well, had fallen into a state of soporific insensibility. Now, can you tell me who wrote these plays?
I did.
4 seconds, 3 seconds.
Now, in Act 2, Scene 3 of your original text, set in the bedroom being shared by the two ladies, you have Angela Thompson saying to Virginia Pick, a love affair shouldn't start with love, it should start with psychoanalysis and finish with understanding.
I think that's moderately funny.
Yes, but wouldn't it be even funnier if it hadn't been lifted almost line for line from an ideal husband? Act 3, Mrs. Cheveley. Romance should never begin with sentiment, it should begin with science and end with a settlement.
I was simply adapting Wilde's dialogue to suit my situation.
Yes, well, adapting other people's words would appear to be your forte, Mr. Appleby. But wasn't it explained to you by Mr. Pastor that he thought there was a lack of imagination shown in some of your scenes, and that's why he was compelled to change them?
That's what he said, yes.
Yes. Now, didn't Mr. Williams tell you that he thought your play was too suggestive, too indirect, in fact, too smutty, and that's why he wanted to bring everything out into the open?
That's what he told me, yes, but I didn't believe him for a moment.
No. Would you not concede, Mr. Appleby, that while a thing like sex remains hidden, sly references to it make it appear dirty and hole in the corner?
No, I wouldn't.
No? But isn't that the basis of all smutty music hall humour?
Yes, I suppose it is, but...
I mean, isn't it in the nature of the beast that when you release it to full view, you can concentrate on the reality and depth of the situation rather than dwelling on its suggestive qualities?
Would you agree with that?
Well, no, I wouldn't, my lord.
No, but then no one would expect you to agree, would they, Mr. Appleby? I mean, after all, your text had been changed. No matter how it had been changed, you would have objected.
Yes, I would. But I still think it's obscene, the way it turned out. But what I really do want to object to, however, is the reflection that's been cast on my work. Now, you have chosen to read out some particularly bad notices. Now, I do have good ones, and I think it only fair to mention that fact. Besides, would Mr. Pastor or Mr. Williams have bought my play if they thought it was that bad?
Yes, but you know it is their case that they were improving your play. Now, that doesn't mean to say they thought it a bad play, just one that could be bettered.
Yes, well, that's a matter of opinion.
So you think you've written a play that can't be improved on?
Well, certainly not by making it more sexually explicit. I mean, in fact, it wasn't. It was destroyed.
Yes. Thank you.
The acts that were finally performed on stage, all this perverted behaviour, none of this was your intention, Mr. Appleby.
No, not at all.
You had no part in it whatsoever.
None at all.
Thank you, Mr. Appleby.
You may leave the witness box.
Now, Mr. Stockman, are you the chief drama critic of the London Daily News?
I am.
And how long have you held that appointment for?
9 years.
And on April the 21st, did you travel from London to Fulchester to see a performance of the play Public Lives by E.W. Rossiter in your capacity as a reviewer?
I did.
Now, are these the words you wrote in your review of this play, which appeared in the Daily News on April the 22nd? One should get over the shock of seeing the naked antics of two pairs of homosexuals, male and female. It is a very perceptive play indeed.
Yes, those are my words.
So you enjoyed the play, did you?
Very much. It's not a world-shattering piece, of course, but it moves the horizons a bit. It's very entertaining and contains a serious criticism of society.
Now, did you find it or any part of it objectionable?
Certain of the jokes lack point. It's always slightly objectionable to me when humour misses its target. But that's not the kind of objectionable you mean, is it?
No, I mean obscene.
Not in the least, no.
Even those sexual antics that you referred to in your review?
No, as I said, once you've accepted that anything goes, that part of it fades away. You hardly notice it. In fact, it becomes an essential background to the words. You'd miss it if it weren't there. It's like a good score in a musical.
Yes. Now, what do you mean by it moves horizons a bit?
Well, every year in a world that is developing as fast as ours, some work of art, good, bad, or indifferent, rolls back the carpet from over the dark corners a little and reveals a little more of our human condition.
And does this play do that?
It does.
Yes. And how does it roll back the carpet?
I think in the form it uses, by completely revealing the human body and by showing us behavior that we've never seen on a stage before. It says to us, this shouldn't really be a taboo, you know. And then proceeds to show that something we thought beforehand might be objectionable is either a therapy or a drug or an errant pastime, but is quite natural. We all do it. If we don't do it, we want to do it. If we don't want to do it, we know it goes on. And if we don't know it goes on, we'd better get our heads out of the sand pretty quickly.
Yes, but you say it is all done with great humour. In fact, it is satire, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Stockman.
Mr. Stockman, I'd like you to listen to this review. The play is a loose, dreary account of three insignificant, selfish characters. It has no significance or literary merit. Do you recognize that remark?
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, that's curious, Mr. Stockman, because you wrote it.
I can't be expected to remember quotations from all my writings. I've been a theatre critic for 12 years, you know.
Can you remember what play it was that you were reviewing when you wrote that?
I suppose it was The Caretaker. That's always been quoted back at me.
Yes, it was indeed. The Caretaker, played by the distinguished English dramatist Harold Pinter. That
Yes.
play is now universally acclaimed, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So you were wrong about it?
Oh, no, I was right.
What, and all the other drama critics were wrong, and experts on drama the world round, and millions of people who've seen it and enjoyed it?
Yes, if you like to put it that way. There have been greater errors of judgment than that, you know.
No judgment on this play, for instance. Would that be one of them?
It is my opinion that it is a good play.
But you must admit that you could be wrong about it, Mr. Stockman.
Of course I could. My opinion was sought, and I'm giving it. You don't expect me to change my mind because other people didn't like it, do you?
No, but our opinions are fallible, are they not? And unrepresentative.
Certainly. That goes for you, too.
Now, my opinion is not being sought, Mr. Stockman.
But if this play is found to be obscene, it will be the opinion of the establishment, won't it, of which you are a part.
It will be the opinion of 12 members of the jury who've been selected to represent their peers.
But then it will become a precedent and will go into law.
Mr. Stockman, Mr. Lotterby, you are not here to conduct a Socratic dialogue, and you are not here, Mr. Stockman, to give us your opinion on the process of the law. Simply answer learned counsel's questions.
You said once you had got over the shock. And now, what shock are you talking about?
I would have thought I had made that abundantly clear.
Well, you didn't, Mr. Stockman, and I, for one, would appreciate it if we could have less of your arrogance and a little more cogent and thoughtful answers to my questions. What shock?
The shock of seeing simulated acts of a homosexual nature performed naked in the theatre.
Yes, and this you call rolling back the carpet, revealing the dark corners?
I did. Perhaps crossing new frontiers would have been a more appropriate expression.
Oh, I think I'm quite happy with dark corners, Mr. Stockman. We should expose all the dark corners, should we?
In time, yes.
No matter whom we affront, no matter whom we shock.
It is the duty of the artist, among other things, to shock and affront.
And disturb and paralyze with fear, torment and drive mad. Would you count those among the artist's duties?
If it happens, it happens.
Well, I have heard that answer with some horror, Mr. Stockman. Coming as it does from a critic of your established reputation.
What is happening in a theatre, or on a piece of canvas, is merely a representation of life. My sense of horror is reserved for those tragedies and disasters that really happen to people outside, on battlefields, after floods, in prisons.
Yes, well, it may surprise you to know, Mr. Stockman, that I completely agree with you there, but that, as you well know, is an entirely different question. Now, you said either we all do it, or we want to do it, or we know it goes on, or our heads are in the sand. Now, what category do you fit into, Mr. Stockman?
The third.
Which one was that?
We know it goes on, my lord.
Oh.
Are you sure you don't fall into either of the first two categories as well?
My lord, quite apart from the impropriety of that remark, what on earth is its relevance to this charge?
Well, if this witness has those tendencies, his evidence is bound to be coloured by them.
Well, I'm not a homosexual, and I've never wanted it.
I rule that question irrelevant, and I invite you to withdraw it, Mr. Lotterby.
Oh, no, don't withdraw it. There's no slur these days. Or hadn't you heard, between consenting adults?
Will you be quiet?
I'm sorry.
I withdraw the question unreservedly, my lord. I regret that it was put.
Now, members of the jury, you will eradicate from your mind any reflection upon this witness's good character that was implied in that last question. So far as you're concerned, it was not asked.
I put it to you, Mr. Stockman, that your views about what should go on the public stage are a danger to society.
Utter nonsense.
You've just admitted that you think artists have no right, no duty to respect the feelings of their audiences. They can manhandle their minds with impunity for all you care.
If truth manhandles the mind, then I'm for it.
Truth, Mr. Stockman? I have no further questions.
No re-examination, my lord.
You may go.
I don't think I could be regarded as a successful man of the theatre. I don't have a penny to my name. But I suppose I could have done a bit better financially if I'd given in to compromise.
What do you mean by compromise?
Well, there have been occasions when I've been offered a play which was obviously going to make a lot of money at the box office, but was so awful, I mean, in such terrible bad taste, that I've turned it down.
Yes. So what sort of plays have you directed, Mr. Williams?
Well, I suppose it would be called experimental theatre, although I don't like the word. Plays of deep meaning where sometimes the literal meaning is obscure, but where a new experience is shared with an audience.
Yes. Have you ever directed sex plays?
I'm sorry, I don't recognize that category. All plays are sex plays.
Now, what do you mean by that?
What I say, all plays are sex plays. They are sexy. If they're not, they are not true to our existence. I mean, I am sex, you are sex, the gentlemen of the jury are sex, the usher is sex, and you, my lord, you are sex, and sex is you.
Are you obsessed by sex, Mr. Williams?
Now, listen, now, I am as obsessed by sex as I am by love and hate and appetite and loyalty and repression and injustice. And when I say that you are sex, my lord, I could equally well say that you are love and you are hate and you are repression and injustice. And, of course, compassion and mercy.
If you mean that a person contains within himself a capacity for all these qualities, it would seem to me that you're stating a truism.
Yes, but it is part of the theatre's job to reveal to people these capacities within them. You see.
So you are not a man of the commercial theatre, Mr. Williams?
Well, so my bank manager tells me.
Yes. In fact, it would be true to say, would it not, that this search for the inner truth has cost you dear?
Yes, it has.
Yes. Now, what about Mr. Pastor? Is he a man of the commercial theatre?
Well, yes, he's a producer. He naturally wants a return on his capital.
Yes. Now, can you tell us all the sequence of events that led up to the production of this play?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Pastor received this play from Mr. Appleby. He read it, he liked it, he called me and he asked me to direct it. Well, at first I liked it. It had a wit, you know, a kind of panache, but there was something deeper which intrigued me. Now, and Mr. Pastor was quite happy with the play, but I was not. You see, its sexual nature was embarrassing me. And I was of the opinion that, well, it was a sniggering piece of theatre because it made nasty fun at the expense of people who had sexual hang-ups. Then one day, right at the end of rehearsal, I had it. I knew exactly what was wrong with it. It had to be played, or some of it, in the nude, with the characters actually performing their sexual acts with each other.
Yes. Well, how did Mr. Pastor react to that?
Well, he stood by me. He saw it through, and it worked, and I still say it worked. And there's nothing obscene about it. In fact, it's removed any obscenity there was in the play. It's now completely pure.
The case of the Queen against Pastor and Williams will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Jeremy Williams, a theatre director, and Alexander Pastor, a theatre producer, are facing charges in the Crown Court that they caused to be shown an entertainment which contained acts and words which, taken as a whole, could be termed obscene. The charge refers to a play which was presented by the defendants at the Fulchester Palace Theatre on April the 23rd, called Public Lives. The witness in the box is Mr. Jeremy Williams, the play's director.
Now, Mr. Williams, is Mr. Pastor a man who has a reputation for presenting plays which might have been called indecent or obscene?
Not at all, no. He's a producer of light comedies of a frothy nature.
Yes, and you yourself, beside these fringe productions you spoke of,
I'm sorry?
I mean, have you yourself ever been associated with stage presentations which might have been called indecent or obscene?
No, none of my plays, no.
And your work has included some distinguished appointments?
Well, yes, for 4 years I was an associate director of the National Theatre of Canada.
Now, what about this play? What was the reaction you had on the first night?
Oh, very good indeed. I was delighted with the notices. They really understood what I was trying to get at. In the bar, you know, after the performances, I was, well, I don't know how you'd put it.
Acclaimed?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Now, did anyone tell you how appalling the simulated intercourse was, both homosexual and heterosexual, how it had damaged them, or how they had been corrupted or depraved by it?
No, quite the reverse. In fact, I recall somebody saying that he would think twice about engaging in such activities because he would remember this play and start laughing.
Yes.
No, that was a lady who said that. Sorry, it was a lady. You see, it had the effect of reducing these so-called obscenities into an absurdity.
Yes, but I mean, you are concerned that sex should play some relevant part in human relations. I mean, you are not saying that it's absurd.
Well, of course not. Quite the reverse. But surely you understand, I mean, you've all seen the play, that what I was trying to get at is that sex has become absurd. As absurd as that gown that you are wearing and that wig. Now, I say this with great respect, my lord. But their only function is to act as a token. The real purpose ceased when modes of dress changed. They survived to remind us of justice, just as sex survives, to remind us of such things as love and procreation. And now a simple contact between human beings.
Well, are you saying that sex has become a substitute for these values?
Yes, I am. And the more we yearn for these values, the more we tend to exaggerate the importance of sex.
Yes, so your play, far from being a play that set out to trample on values, actually used these sexual devices to show or suggest a lack of them and a need for them.
Yeah, that's right.
My lord, I'm sure we're all deeply fascinated by this philosophical discussion. We've all had the privilege of being singled out as sex objects, and we've had scorn poured over our attire, and we've listened to a discourse on the uselessness of sex. Could I plead with my learned friend to return to the evidence?
My lord, I submit that everything this witness has said so far is relevant to the production of this play.
I suppose the people of a theatrical nature must be permitted to embellish their points, Mr. Lotterby.
My lord, with great respect, that is palpably unfair. It is placing theatrical people in a minority category who need to be humoured. I would request that an equal amount of weight be given to this witness's testimony as to that of the others.
But I, for one, have listened to him most carefully, Mr. Parsons, and I've noticed Mr. Lotterby listening with great respect. Indeed, everybody in the court here has given your witness a good hearing. If I impugned theatrical people by my remark, I unhesitatingly withdraw it.
I'm grateful to your lordship for that. Now, it was therefore your idea to show these so-called perverted acts on stage.
Yes, mine entirely. Mr. Pastor saw it through. He was very tolerant. Then, of course, he is a very open-minded person.
Yes. Now, it has been suggested that you and people like you have no concern for the sensibilities of their audiences. Now, what do you have to say to that, Mr. Williams?
But my life is tied up in audiences. I want them to understand that what I'm doing is for their own good. In this play, I wanted them to laugh at themselves, not just at objects of fun on a stage. I mean, laughter's a great healer, you know. It's a pity you can't get it on the National Health.
Yes. Now, Miss Jenkins claimed that you told her to get out because she wouldn't subject herself to the indignity of being exposed on stage in these rewritten situations, and naked to boot.
Yeah, well, we had a terrible row, you know, about this chap that she was going out with, and she turned it into a refusal to appear in the play in the nude, and she walked out.
Well, did you attempt to do anything about this?
Well, we were going to sue her, but, you see, I had told her 5 days before I made the announcement to the rest of the cast that she'd be asked to simulate intercourse on stage, and she'd no objection then. Indeed, she quite seemed to warm to it.
Yes. Now, Mr. Appleby says that you tampered with his text to such an extent that he asked to have his name taken off it.
Yes, well, I'm sorry about that. It must have been a bit of a surprise to him. You see, I do rather tend to ride roughshod over writers and then think better of it afterwards. But you see, Mr. Pastor and I were going to send him a letter of apology and with a lump sum on top of his royalties when the atmosphere had died down a bit.
What atmosphere?
Well, the rather heated relationship between Mr. Appleby and myself. But I still think it was a vastly better play the way I did it.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
Pure?
I'm sorry?
Did you call this play pure?
Yes.
Are we talking the same language, you and I?
I'm sorry, I don't...
A public performance of an act of sodomy, that is pure?
It is possible.
Well, it's abominable, isn't it?
It is used merely as a background to the dialogue. Ultimately, you hardly notice it.
Well, you just speak for yourself, Mr. Williams. You may hardly notice it.
No, please. It is possible to put something on stage that is there to act as a counterpoint to what is being said. And eventually you hardly notice it. Let me give you an example. Shall we say, the crucifixion. Now, that was barbarity beyond anybody's imagination. A man bleeding slowly to death. But put two people in front of it, having an argument about whether the sheets are going to be black silk or white silk. And you've got a point. And when the point is made, the background and the foreground become subsumed into something else.
Are you comparing what you put on at the Fulchester Palace Theatre with a crucifixion?
No. Only in form, not in content.
I see. Yes, well, let's examine your claim to have made these changes in Mr. Appleby's script for a purely aesthetic motive. You said you were far from being a commercial man of the theatre.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, what was it you said to Mr. Appleby? You would all make a mint?
Well, I didn't put it exactly like that, but I did expect to make some money out of it, yes.
Why? Why would this one make money and not all the others you've directed?
Because people would want to see this play.
Yes, because of its nudity, because of its frankness, its adult nature, as advertised in the Fulchester Echo.
Yes, I fully expected some people to come for the wrong reasons.
You were therefore intending to make money by encouraging people who saw this advertisement to become voyeurs.
I was confident that once they were inside the theatre, watching the play, they would benefit from what they saw.
And anyone was allowed to come along and partake of this frank and adult experience?
No, not everyone. There was a notice outside the theatre saying that children of 16 and under would not be admitted.
Yes, but you would accept that there are people of adult years who have the mental age of a child?
Yes.
And these people might be admitted?
Yes.
Would the childlike state of their minds be adversely affected by it?
Well, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely.
So you admit it's possible that your play might deprave and corrupt?
Mr. Appleby, I feel I must remind the members of the jury that even if you establish the point you are trying to make, that does not render the work obscene. To be obscene, it must tend to deprave and corrupt those most likely to attend it, and a significant proportion, in fact. You cannot establish a general tendency to corrupt and deprave by reference to a tiny minority of the population.
As your lordship directs. Well, let's come right down to the nub of this issue, Mr. Williams. Now, you've appeared to be knowledgeable about certain aesthetic values. You appear to know what's good and what's bad for an audience.
And I don't say that.
Let me finish, please.
Sorry.
You've advertised this play in a certain manner, frank and adult. You've also admitted that many of the people entering the theatre to see your display of sexual gymnastics would come as voyeurs, and then they'd see tragic situations, perverted mentalities treated as if they were comic.
Look, let me explain. In the theatre, we often treat tragedy in that way. You see, we need the comedy to emphasise the tragedy as a contrast. I mean, Shakespeare does it all the time.
Yes, but these perversions were treated in your play as though they were attractive.
I would not say they were treated as though they were attractive. I would say they were treated as though they were laughable.
Are you aware of what Dr. Coggan, the Archbishop of York, said recently about the theatre?
No, I'm afraid I'm not, no.
Well, he said the stage is being disgraced by the kind of stuff being put on in London where sex is lampooned instead of reverenced. Are you not disgracing the stage?
I'm afraid I can't answer to the Archbishop's views on the theatre. Do you know if he's seen this play?
I put it to you, Mr. Williams, that your Your advertisement, your publicity, attracted innocent people to a display of perverted acts, a display which encouraged them to go out and do likewise.
Look, people are attracted to what they have a leaning towards. Art does not encourage or deter them.
You don't care about these people, Mr. Williams. You don't give a damn.
I do!
Yes, you do care, don't you, Mr. Williams?
Listen, I care very much about the effect that my work has on people. I just don't believe that I put anything on stage that's obscene, that's all.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. No further questions, my lord. You are Anthony Nigel Grillham Standing of 13 Portland Road, Chelsea, London.
I am.
What is your occupation?
I'm the Member of Parliament for the Naismith constituency in London.
Yes. And on April 22nd, did you travel to Fulchester and attend a performance of the play Public Lives at the Palace Theatre?
I did.
Now, what do you have to say, speaking as a responsible public figure and as a theatre-goer, to the charge that this play was obscene?
Oh, I would say nonsense. And I found it enjoyable.
Yes. Now, were you a member of a parliamentary select committee on broadcasting?
Yes.
And do you have a 17-year-old daughter, an only child?
I do have, yes.
And on the night you went to see this play, did she accompany you?
And she did, yes.
And what did she think of it?
She thought it was
Lord.
huge fun.
So, how would you describe this play, Mr. Standing, if it is not obscene?
I would describe it as risque. Perhaps a little more risque than others I have seen.
Yes. Now, in your capacity as a member of that select committee on broadcasting, you have been involved with problems of the selection of material for television.
Yes, I have.
Now, do you think that this play should be shown on television?
No, I don't.
Now, why not?
Because the level of judgment in television is different.
So, we must not judge the theatre by the rules applied to television. Is that what you're saying?
I am, yes.
Yes. Now, is this play, in your opinion, in advance of its time?
I think its form is, and that's the point about the theatre. If it does exist in advance of its time, it performs one of its valuable functions.
And that's what you see this play doing?
I do, yes.
Yes, yes, thank you, Mr. Standing.
You appear to equivocate, Mr. Standing, over censorship at large.
Oh, do I? Sorry to hear that.
One ruling for television and another for the theatre.
Well, let me put it this way. The box in the corner is part of the furniture. Its programmes are available to all at the turn of a switch. It controls millions of minds. It has taken the place of newspapers and other media. The theatre has little direct influence over the public mind.
You said you wouldn't like to see this play on television.
Well, I said I wouldn't advise its performance. It's like giving chocolate cake to a starving man. I would, however, like to see a free television service where advanced programmes like this could be
Yes,
performed.
thank you, Mr. Standing. Now, you went to see the second performance of this play.
That's right, yes.
Did you pay for your seats or were you invited?
I was given complimentary tickets.
Yes, isn't it a fact that you were invited when the management got wind of the fact that there was going to be trouble and that the police were going to be called in the following night?
I think you could say that, yes.
Mm-hmm. You were invited because you're a well-known supporter of so-called liberal causes in the arts, were you not?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that. And there's nothing so damning as that word so-called, sir. They are liberal causes.
Yes, of course. Now, you are the elected member of Parliament for a division of London which is quite wealthy, are you not?
Yes.
Like such areas as Chelsea and Hampstead, it contains a high proportion of professional people. A concentration of people who work in the arts.
That is true.
Would you not agree that the standard of morality that you come into contact with is very different from that of the rest of the country?
Oh, I would. It is a very high standard. I'm very proud to represent it, and I'm delighted to hear you give it its due.
It also makes you fairly unrepresentative of the national viewpoint, Mr. Standing.
Oh, do you think so?
Oh, doesn't it?
Well, if you're implying that the standards of morality in the rest of the country are low, you are mistaken.
No, I didn't suggest they were low.
Well, you're the one who
Now,
brought up standards.
What I'm suggesting is that the people you come into contact with may be less easily shocked.
Well, if you mean that better educated people are liable to be more broad-minded, I'm inclined to agree with you. That's an argument in favour of a better education system.
Do you mind if we get to the point of this exchange, Mr. Lotterby?
I'm sorry, my lord. Let me put it like this, Mr. Standing. There is a general level of acceptance of what can be shown in public, is there not? I mean, people just don't accept other people walking down the street without their trousers on.
Well, they don't in my constituency.
Right. Now, if there is this general standard throughout the country, shouldn't the theatre comply with it?
Oh, no. The theatre should be in advance of its time.
Yes, but you see, these standards are safeguarded by laws on obscenity, Mr. Stanning. Now, I gather that by being in advance of your time, you are in conflict with the law.
Well, I personally am not in conflict with the law, sir. I do, however, support all moves for changes in the obscenity laws.
You would remove all censorship?
Well, practically all of it, yes.
Which makes you completely unrepresentative of public opinion. Now, wouldn't you agree?
Of enlightened public opinion, no.
You support the public exhibition of fornication, homosexual behavior, adulterous, perverted acts?
No, I didn't say I would support anything of the sort. My pleasure came from seeing it integrated into an artistic entity, which was so amusing and revealing in describing society's shortcomings.
Have you ever done any of the acts depicted on that stage?
Oh, yes, of course I have.
You have?
Oh, it's an absurd question. I mean, I've opened doors, walked into rooms, had conversations.
You're fencing with me, Mr. Stanning. You know perfectly well I was talking about the perverted sexual acts.
Well, I don't think it's any of your business, but as it happens, I don't indulge in sexual perversions.
You took your daughter with you. Now, supposing she were to try to copy some of the behavior she saw on that stage. Now, what would you think of the play then?
I think you've misunderstood this play, sir. You see, it says to us, if we do it like that, it's ridiculous. But it's not an incitement to behave like that. It's the direct opposite. It's a warning.
Well, the play may have said that to you, Mr. Stanning, but then, after all, you are in the fortunate position of being in advance of your time, are you not? No further questions.
I've no re-examination, my lord.
Thank you.
Members of the jury, this play, Public Lives, was written as a comedy of manners, but during the course of rehearsal, the two accused decided that this would not be commercial enough, so they decided to change the play to dress it up, if that's the right phrase, with naked bodies simulating various perverted sexual acts, mostly of a homosexual nature, and culminating in a group orgy. And members of the jury, do you think it right to show on a public stage in full detail naked men and women indulging in perverted sexual acts? Is this not permissiveness taken to the extreme limits? Liberty turned into license? Now, we've been told that this entertainment is probing our social condition and pioneering new art forms, but surely what it is really doing is trying to make a profit out of pandering to our baser instincts. Now, it seems to me, members of the jury, that if you believe that this play was not obscene, that it did not tend to deprave and corrupt, then what you are saying is that there is no such thing as obscenity in the theatre, and that I cannot believe you would say. When you are considering your verdict, members of the jury, I ask you to remember the words of Mrs. Rosewall. The world was suddenly a filthy place. It had become polluted for me. I wonder what on earth we are all up to, where on earth we are all going.
Members of the jury, this trial is about freedom, the artistic freedom to criticize society by satirizing the sacred cows it holds most dear. Now let us get it quite clear. The presenters of this play are artists who are deeply concerned to improve the society which we all live in. Now, it is true that freedom involves risks, but restrictions lead to secrecy and guilt. Now, what are the risks that freedom involves? Well, if we are to allow it, we must from time to time expect to be exposed to situations we did not expect, to experiences we did not expect, and even at the time, perhaps, that we did not want. But sometimes it is right that we should be shocked in order that we might see more clearly. And clearly, we mustn't fear that we've been corrupted or depraved simply because we've been shocked. And do not be put off by the fact that this play provoked laughter. Laughter is the great cleanser. You don't hear laughter in strip clubs or in shows designed simply to titillate or stimulate sexual impulses. This was not that sort of show. It did not set out to do that, and so far no one has stood in that witness box and said that they were corrupted or depraved. Now, you have seen this play, gentlemen of the jury, and you are 12 representatives of your countrymen. Were you corrupted or depraved If you are not, then how on earth can you find these defendants guilty? Because you are upstanding and decent men, and if you are not corrupted or depraved, then who are we talking about? And if you are corrupted and depraved, then how is it that 12 corrupted and depraved men can give a verdict in a Crown Court? Is that what British justice is all about? Now, perhaps this play embarrassed you, but I put it to you that the day that artists and playwrights stop embarrassing and disturbing and shaming us, then that is the day we must stop and ask them what they are doing. I ask you to find the defendants not guilty.
Now, members of the jury, the law relating to obscenity is notoriously difficult. In the last 12 years, a number of verdicts have been reversed on appeal because of a faulty direction to the jury as to the law. Recently, in the trial relating to the book Last Exit to Brooklyn, and in the trial of the magazine Oz 28, convictions were reversed on appeal for that very thing. So I must be very careful to give you a proper direction as to the law, and I want you to listen very carefully. The first question you must ask yourselves is, have the prosecution proved beyond reasonable doubt that the performance of the play on April the 23rd was obscene? Now, a play is obscene if taken as a whole, its effect is such as to tend to deprave and corrupt persons who were likely, having regard to relevant circumstances, to attend. It is no offence if a play merely shocks or disgusts. The question is whether a significant number of people in the audience might have been depraved and corrupted by it. Now, what is a significant number is for you to decide. And the words taken as a whole mean you must consider the whole play and not an isolated line or episode. If you are not satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the performance was obscene, then of course your verdict will be not guilty. But if you think it was obscene, you must then consider the defence, that the giving of the performance was justified as being for the public good on the grounds that it was in the interests of drama. But if this defence is not established, then there would be no excuse for the obscenity, and your verdict could be one of guilty. Well, now, members of the jury, these are very difficult questions, and I ask you now to retire and to consider them.
All stand. Answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached verdicts on which you're all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner at the bar, Alexander Pastor, guilty or not guilty of producing an obscene play?
Guilty.
Is that the verdict of you all?
Yes.
Do you find the prisoner at the bar, Jeremy Williams, guilty or not guilty of directing an obscene play?
Guilty.
Is that the verdict of you all?
Yes.
Mr. Justice Campbell sentenced Alexander Pastor and Jeremy Williams to 15 months' imprisonment. In addition, they were jointly ordered to pay £62,000 in legal costs. Next week, a chance for you to join another jury in assessing the facts when our cameras return to watch a leading case in the Crown Court.